then, I have worked as a business analyst and a business consultant for a number of organizations, including some multinationals, where I had that passion to use digital technology to make a difference in the lives of people, entrepreneurs, small businesses, and non-profit organizations. I actually started my business shortly after. So that's about my professional career. And but within all this, I have found myself in service. 3 masters, I said I was elected student staff representative to build a community for the class. Okay. When I worked for one of the multinationals I worked with, I was also elected employee representative as well. And in CUALA, I've served as vice president community engagement, and I find myself in service in different ways. I'm here because I'm running for the office of vice president community engagement, an office I'm so passionate about because CUALA is like a part of my life. Even my wife, my kids are kind of part of CUALA. And I see the potential that the community has to build what I've called a strong alumni support network that serves the needs of every student and graduate of Covenant University. And I've seen where community have come together to make a difference in the life of someone, how much more 25,000 of us. I have really put myself out there to connect and to engage with so many eagles. And I'm hoping that this gives me an opportunity to be able to drive this engagement further within the community. Thank you so much. To you, Niraya.
Right on time. All right, Cynthia, over to you. Introduction and manifesto for the next 2 minutes.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Hi, everyone. I am Cynthia Ichisum, and I'm a graduate of Covenant 2017 sets. While I was on campus, I served as vice chair female. I also served as academic lead for my particular set, that's the 2017 set, my department, for a number of years, and even the word study unit. So service has always been part of my nature. But even while on campus, I started a company, and that company has been like this, so part of my work, even after school. It's called the Abuki Africa. We've been recognized on several platforms. But outside that, even after graduating from campus, one of the major things that I thought about was how to continually be part of the Eagle community, because I mean, my friends, my colleagues, all of them are fantastic people. So, but then I got into Imperial College London for my master's program on entrepreneurship, innovation, and management. And that began another journey, working with management consulting firms, working with global firms. But one of the major things that I took out was during one of the meetings, my role as VP for Venture Labs and Ecosystem at Spark Africa. I remember being in that meeting and we're trying to decipher who we're going to bring on board. And Virtual Capital was one of the companies, but I couldn't go ahead because I didn't have a contact. And watching the 20-year anniversary video, I saw that, Virtual Capital was an eagle. And that really broke my heart, because if there was a much more stronger system for actually connecting with different sets and different communities within the CUALA community, I'm sure I would have been able to bring up Virtual Capital into that conversation. And that led to my drive to actually see how we can build a structure to have all the community members more connected and more engaged for more value at the end of the day. So, yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for keeping to time. So for the next question, we're going to just keep going in this method, right? So if you end, you'll be the person to start or to respond to the question that I ask, and then the next person picks up after that. So question for you, Cynthia. Using your office, what are the top 3 problems you want to solve for Eagles? If you become the VP community engagement, and how do you plan to get them solved? You have 2 minutes to answer this.
All right, so I'll take this from a personal experience. Just on Sunday, I was having a random conversation with like 3 people, and they're like, "Oh, this person's an eagle, person graduated from CU." And then I started having more conversations with her, just asking, "Okay, so what are you up to?" She said she's doing chemical engineering. Okay, so after that, are you going to focus on that? So she was again into videography and photography. In that moment, I thought to myself, who do I know that is in this particular space of filmmaking, which is she's interested in, that I could connect her to, right? Who is an eagle? And then I picked up my phone and I called someone who is an eagle working at Takeout Media. Takeout Media is founded by an eagle, by the way. And in that moment, I was able to connect someone who's just about to graduate from CU directly to someone who's already playing in that space. And that was like a big issue. Like, if this girl didn't have contact with me, how would she have had the opportunity of meeting someone who's an eagle playing in this space in her area of interest? And so that led to, my drive for a particular part of my campaign, which is how can we use and leverage technology to create a more structured system where everybody's value is seen and known, such that in this moment, if I want to know the people working in venture capital space, VP space, KPMG, I could be able to identify them and give them access, to those opportunities, right? Even before campus. Just today alone, I received a number of messages on people saying, "Oh, how can you connect me to founders in this space?" The first set of people I want to connect them to is e-groups, right? And so that's like the major problem I'm trying to address, leveraging tech, connecting more people, opening more chapters in more cities, getting more people involved. Whether you have a leadership role or not, you are actively contributing to the community. Yes. And then I think finally is, at the end of the day, seeing how we can connect all of that and build a strong brand voice such that anywhere, any day, they can recognize that CUALA community is one community we want to connect with.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Somi, could you take the same question, which is, using your office, what are the top 3 problems you plan to solve for Eagles? If you become the VP, and how would you plan to get it solved?
Yeah, absolutely. For anyone in the chats, I've just shared a file. I've designed what I've called the journey of an eagle. And it is so fundamental that we actually understand that the journey of an eagle starts from that day you land in Covenant University. One of the big things that we need to solve is that we have a level of disconnection. There's disconnection with some of the younger sets, and there's some disconnection with some of the older sets. And as an alumni, we need to continue to do a lot of things to bring people together. Let me explain. When I attended Loughborough University, a leading university here in the UK, guess what? As soon as I walked into that campus, the first people that came to greet me and help me with my bags are alumni. One of the reasons I am very committed to Loughborough University alumni is because they showed up on day one. We are currently starting the journey with Eagles when they graduate or just upon graduation. You've lost 4 years. We build a relationship from the beginning. So one of the things I want to use my office to do is to connect from the beginning and start to add value. For our older sets, we have a lot of work to do in terms of connecting with our culture and explaining the value the community has, and let people know the alumni is for you. And I hope you can hear it in my passion. And I've seen that happen because when I was Vice President Community Corporate Communications, we stirred that up and we started to see engagement increase. Guys, how much more now that we have this role for the first time, Vice President Community Engagement? That's what I want to bring to CUALA, not to start again, but to continue. And I hope that what I've shared highlights some of the problems and some of the solutions. It's all about connecting and delivering that value. And this is where I know that discovering of the insights to understand what the community needs and the collaboration with the community lead will help us to deliver that.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Somi. Okay, so we've heard, very well clearly from both of you on what you plan to do, and you're both well-driven and seem passionate about this. I'm sure either way we're, in strong hands. So, how can we hold you accountable, however, to your campaign promise? 2 minutes, Somi, let's start from you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that you all know me for is that I'm a very passionate person by default. Like, it doesn't even matter. As long as you say you're an eagle, I'm already all over you, and it feels like I've known you for for many years. I deliberately make myself approachable and accessible. And that's why sometimes people think I'm in Nigeria when I'm here. And the truth is, I make myself available in the community. I'm a very approachable person. I don't believe in hierarchies. I don't believe in organizational charts. Somi is Somi. Somi yesterday is Somi today is Somi tomorrow. Come to me and you can hold me accountable for that. Come to me with ideas. I'm open to hear from you. I want us to do this together. So that's one of them. The second thing is, when I was vice president corporate communications, I was actually the one that designed and launched what has become our half-year reports. And it was all about transparency. Guys, we will tell you and we'll show you what we have done and what we have achieved. Please join us on this journey. And I'm super happy that that has actually been maintained, and that's going to continue as well. And one of the things that I'm looking to do is to actually work with you guys. Tell us, how do you even want these updates to come? Do you want us to change a few things? How do you want the updates to come? But I'm also available as well, and you can trust me. Use my office, use my personal space. I've got a personal website as well where I share what's currently happening. I don't always need people to wait 6 months to hear updates. Just by me being around you is going to be a lot of updates and transparency on how I'm running this office. And I hope that that really answers your question. As I said, I have served you diligently, not just as vice president corporate communications, but as someone who has diligently served Eagles and served them. So feel free, hold me accountable. You can trust in me.
Great. Cynthia, let's take the same question. I can repeat it if you'd like as well.
It's fine. All right. So how can you hold me accountable? One of the major things, one of the major driving principles that I have is being able to have clarity and having like a roadmap, a structured roadmap, such that you can say at the end of 2 years, Cynthia said she's going to do this and this, and she was able to deliver, right? So based on my manifesto, I've been able to clearly highlight the roadmap at which we're going to get to the future. The future is being able to say at any point in time, you can identify the people who are in the community and see where you can get help from without having to go through like a long process. So first thing is you're going to be seeing more chapters open. How is it that we don't have a chapter in cities like America? We want to be able to say that, you know, for everywhere an Eagle is, there is a chapter. So one of the things you're going to be seeing is having chapters. So you're going to hold me accountable to that. The second thing you're going to be holding me accountable is my word on being able to transition us from a place where, you know, it's a bit rowdy. WhatsApp is good, but there's a limit to WhatsApp. We're a growing community. At the point in time, we're going to get to 100K. At the point in time, we're going to get to 200K. And we don't even have to do advertisement for that. For every time a graduate is released, there is an alarm, right? So we're going to have to leverage technology to build up a system that will help us connect with one another for value, such that if you're in debt today, you can find someone who will be able to help you out with your business. Just the way Remy is doing on his own, you can have a much more structured system for reaching out to people. So you're going to be seeing that reality. You're going to hold me accountable to that. Another thing you're going to hold me accountable to is the fact that I have access to partnership perks. Being an alum of Imperial College gave me access to a lot of perks from different organizations. I want us to be able to have that identity such that KPMG will say, do you know what, I want to give you guys this. A business will say, I'm going to give 20% discount to every alum. These are the benefits that I want you to hold me accountable to.
Great, thank you so much, Cynthia. So we have more questions coming in. Just to remind everyone, if you're writing your comments in the comment section, please make sure you're sending to everyone and not to the host and panelists if you're trying to show support for your candidate. And also, if you have questions, you should use the Q&A tool. We already have questions coming in, so we'll start discussing those as well. So I'll take one from the Q&A tool, and then we can go back to just the remaining few that we have. So you have a question here that says, what's your plan for the micro community? I know you've talked about, and Cynthia, we can start from you because you've talked about, you know, more chapters, etc. So people would like to know what your plan for the micro community would be, like what that would be. So if you can take that in 2 minutes as well, you can start your mute.
All right. So yes, I was really excited when I saw that email from corporate communications about us having micro communities, and immediately I jumped into tech because I'm passionate about tech and business. And even at that, I have been collaborating with Remy for the past couple of months right now to build the Eagles in Business community. I think it's a tremendous idea, and it's something that we need to keep doing and cut across more industries and more interest areas. I mean, for now, we're going to leverage WhatsApp because that's like the closest tool that we have available. But at a point in time, we would need to transition into something more structured, such that, you know, in a community, for Eagles in Tech. Like, for example, today I got a message from NCC that they want, 25 founders. There are two places I go to when I have, communications like this. Either I go to my alums or I go to my church members because I'm part of CCI. So if there was a much more structured system for me to be able to identify, okay, these are the total number of founders in the community right now, and get their emails immediately and send them the opportunity. WhatsApp, at the point, we need to transition to a new platform. So that new platform will be like the singular badge that you use to identify yourself as an alum, such that you only tailor the information you want to see. You want to see things on tech, you see things on tech. You want to see announcements on tech, you see announcements on tech. If you see announcements related to any specific career, you're going to get that. So that's the technology platform. We're going to call it any name possible, but it's going to be an app that allows us to connect with one another more intimately. So we're going to keep the micro communities going and cut across more interest areas and cut across more industries so that we can connect based on our values and the things that we're really interested in. So yeah.
Thank you. Somi, over to you. What the plans you have for the micro community? We can't hear you. You're mute. Can you pause the timer, please? Somi, we can't hear
Yes,
you.
no, it's fine. Yeah, I've just shared, what I've just shared on the screen is something I have designed. And I think that's really fundamental that we understand that there is a strategy to this. And I shared it in the chat earlier, but some people couldn't view on their mobile, which is why I shared it on the screen. And I've called it the journey of an eagle. When we talk about micro communities, the truth about it is that we actually launched micro communities under my leadership as vice president corporate communications. And this was driven by us understanding that we are moving towards a decentralized community. We cannot force people into groups. We have to allow people based on their needs to start to create groups around them. And we've seen some Eagles really do a really good job. For example, Tony in Scotland, he has been able to kind of start to put Eagles together where there's interest. So we need to be very careful where we are not just forcing chapters in areas because we know there are Eagles are there. We need to stir up that interest. And when that interest starts to catch fire, they can become a chapter or become a group of people. And we have a lot of all these chapters. And what we are seeing today is actually progression and growth from what we had years ago to what we have now. The other thing I also want to mention as well regarding micro communities is that it needs to be need-based. People will go to where there is value. Value is what attracts people, not technology. It is relationships that make a difference. There's a reason why we are not all active on Telegram, because it's another platform. We have to meet people where they are. We don't pull people into another platform. And this is where we need to be very careful. Guys, there was an Eagles app that was handed over to my administration. We tried to push it. Adoption was low. The app died. Nobody used it. We tried another app as well. Nope. Engagement was low. We spoke to one of the biggest organizations, Graduate, under my administration, under my leadership, and we tried again on that platform. But the moment we switched to building those relationships, we saw that the community started to engage more.
Okay. Thank you. So let me see. Just give me 1 second, guys. And thank you, Somi, for also taking over the screen, but for keeping to time. I want to believe that you can hear me. Yes, you can. Cynthia, you've already commented on this particular question, right? Or have you? You're mute. Yes,
micro communities.
Yes, we started. All right, so sorry, things went offside for a bit. So just to another question, someone wants to know. So now we're going to just take a few of the audience questions, and finally I'll just ask you one more question, and then we wrap it for you both, right? So one question that you have, and you have 30 seconds for this one. Are you both open to working together? Question for the both of them. Starting from you, Somi. 30 seconds. There won't be any the time
Yeah.
sort
So
of.
the truth is, Cynthia and I actually know each other really well, and we're actually friends. And it's one of the conversations we had. I can assure you that that if I am elected vice president community engagement, I really hope that you guys vote me. Cynthia is definitely my space because I know that we're going to work together. So it's all positive, positive, positive for me.
All right. I didn't set a timer for you, but I believe that's less than 30 seconds. Cynthia, over to you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Sami is a great guy to work with. He has great touch with the older sets as much as I have great touch with the younger set. So having that collaboration will be perfect, especially for the alumni community. Yeah, so happy to work with him. Once I get the office of the VP Community Engagement. Yeah.
Okay, so let's take this final question from the audience. How realistic, Cynthia, this is pointed to you, but I think Somi already kind of touched it. So, but Somi, you're going to chime in as well. How realistic is it to have chapters everywhere Eagles reside? Do you know how many countries Eagles are presently from our last See You at 20 video?
So the fact that we're unable to answer where Eagles are in each city is something that I want to be able to answer during my tenure as VP committee, be able to have that data. But more importantly, you know that feeling when you get into a new land, right? I had a friend of mine who got a master's in Japan. She got into that space and she felt alone because the people in Japan, very different community. So one of the things that I saw was that the moment she found one person who was just related to her by her faith and also the things that she was interested in, that really sparked up her world. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that we have to have 50 people, 20 people before we have a chapter. The moment there is one person who is an eagle, that person needs to be identified and supported in that city, such as someone in UK can support somebody in the Philippines. The person might be doing some great work as an eagle there, but the person needs that support. So yes, it's as realistic as it needs. It really needs to be done. And so that's why we need to bring it to reality. Yeah.
I mean, could you comment on that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you attended our last our town hall or whichever event where the president always shared, you see that Eagles are across quite a number of countries. I'm sure there was probably at least somewhere between 50 to 200 there from varying numbers. Obviously, we have most of our Eagles in Nigeria, Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, and a few other ones. And the reason I'm really close to this is because when I was vice president, corporate communications, I set up the data structure to make sure that we're capturing data of Eagles. This is why, as soon as we heard something was happening in Ukraine, the secretariats could reach out to Eagles in Ukraine because we have that data. Okay, now it's really important for us to understand that we can't force a chapter in places, but when you continue to stir value, you have people that even start to nominate themselves to build communities around them. That's actually what you want. You want it to be Eagle generated and self-generated so that it is decentralized and you start to have more micro communities. But again, I can't emphasize on value and relationships. That's how to make it work.
So thank you. One thing I think I've noticed about the community engagement VP candidates is that they really keep to time. Well done. Okay, so I see more questions on the chat. We're done with the Q&A right now. If you do have questions, please reach out to them. That's the Q&A from the audience. But I would recommend that you post these questions on the Q&A tool and not on the chat. And please don't send messages to the host and panelists, but to everyone, so everyone can see what you're typing. That way, we can share the fun with you, and also on the Q&A parts. That way we can actually focus on the question. So please do that. So finally, I think we'll just wrap up with this particular one. Somi, what is that one piece of advice you would give to your younger self in 1 minute?
Oh, my youngest.
I'm not saying you're not young anymore. Just
yeah,
saying.
I know. Yeah, I know. Like, value people. If I knew, well, I kind of knew this from early on, but if I even knew the power that relationships had much earlier, I would have realized how far that I could have gone. Guys, my class, and I have permission to share this, we nurtured this community. My class group, we're just about 100. We've nurtured this relationship for many years. It occurred to me, and this is one of the driving things for my passion, when one of us, when we found out that one of us had a medical emergency and needed a surgery, in less than 3 hours, millions were raised and this girl's life was saved, thank God. And I realized that, wow, people can actually come together for one person. Imagine 25,000 of us. So again, what I'll tell my younger self is value relationships from the beginning. It takes people much further, it takes people higher, and every other thing just rests on relationships. And that's one big thing that I'm bringing to CUALA, to make sure that we have that culture where we value each other.
Cynthia?
So what will I say to my younger self?
Yeah.
I'll basically let her know that for every challenge that you want to help solve, right, for every individual, you need to ensure that you put some goals and targets to it. There has to be structure to it, because you don't want to come in with a great vision and you're unable to fulfill it because there is no pathway. Because that's one of the things that I experienced when I was VCF. I had to come to that reality that as VCF, there are things that you need to do, but I had great passion, but I didn't put like a proper structure. So I could only implement a few of those ideas, because at the end of the day, impact needs to be measured. The impact in lives of people is measured. So I'll let her know that, think more of strategy, think more of roadmap, ensure that at the end of the day, you fulfill the promises that you give to people.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So I'm going to give you 1 minute each to wrap up. This is the time where you sell your market, right? You've said a lot of things, but sell your market and give people the call to action, right? What do you want them to do? And for the audience, if you do have questions for them, listen out for their call to action, listen out to the things that they're saying for this last minute. And then you can, DM them or contact them, for the responses to the questions that you might have. So let's start with you, Cynthia. What's your 1 minute sell your market part? Just
all right.
As well.
So what I would say is vote for Cynthia. Why? Because she's going to bring a fresh perspective to the table. We really need representation from other generations and other sets, which will actually enable the CUALA community be stronger. And so as VP community engagement, by bringing me to office, I'm able to bring that fresh perspective, the network, the people, to ensure that the community is more connected. We don't want to have a situation where we have large WhatsApp group and it feels like only 20 people are the most engaged. We need to be able to identify people. And by God's grace, we have a roadmap. And I think we can get there. Regardless of the challenges we've had in the past, we can always find a way out and get us into that future where our brand will be that one to be reckoned with. At the end of the day, you'll be voting for Cynthia and you'll be voting for the future of CUALA.
Thank you. So let's go. So your market and your call to action.
Yeah, absolutely. I want us to take a few seconds and let's ask ourselves, what type of alumni community do I want to be in? When I looked at the job description of Vice President Community Engagements, which is carefully, there's a big part of it that is about connecting people, particularly those who are disconnected, and taking them further. And we can only do it if we are united. I've seen where community has saved lives. I've seen where community has inspired people. I've seen where community has made a difference. I have seen it happen even in my class during my master's, where it's even made people become better students. I've seen it when I was an employee representative and staff turnover reduced and staff got closer to the organization. I've done it in CUALA as well. Why should you vote for me? Vote for me because this office is an extension of my personality. I don't do it as an office. It is just me. And I believe that the perspective and the strategies I'm bringing in would take us much further into building a strong support community.
Thank you. And on that note, we will say thank you to you both for sharing, answering the questions on the spot and sharing your plans with us. I wanted to also highlight that I see comments about, the older set feels old and all of that. No, that's not it. I just really wanted to highlight as well the fact that, Somi is from 2017 set and 2007 set. And then Cynthia is from 2017 set. So just a 10-year gap. I don't know if it makes sense for anyone, but I thought that it was really interesting seeing that both of you, as you described, are already working together. And, here we're all for an alumni for all. So thank you so much for stepping up to this position. And you both are great. So good luck to both of you. And we're hoping to support you either way we land. Thank you, and hope you support yourselves. All right, so over to you, Gabriel. Thank you, and Gabriel, over to you.
Thank you very much, guys. That was a brilliant KYC. Yes, I enjoyed listening to both candidates. Thank you guys for preparing very well for that. Thank you for sharing that. We're going to go on a quick break now for 2 minutes. We are on schedule, and I will ask the next candidates for the position VP Finance. So I'm going to ask Marana Igbokwe and Wumi Adelusi to please get ready. We'll be back in 2 minutes, kick off with some music, and we will see you all soon. Cheers.
In your life, I dare to make you smile. Or they will take your pain and give you so much joy. For me I hope my baby. For me I hope, for me I hope. For me I hope, for me I hope my baby. For me I hope, for me I hope. Some go tell you, say now you be one and only, call you baby. Some go promise, when time come them fail. When the times are good, they go call you boo, they go stand beside you, claim to love you. When the times are hard, they go just babe. Now I hope my baby, oh. Now I hope, now I hope, now I hope, now I hope my baby, so now I hope, now I hope. For me I hope, my baby, oh. For me I hope, for me I hope. I know you're looking at me, you watch me like TV. You're looking at me 3 times in a row. If you want to say hello, just say hello. I think you look so pretty, you look like spaghetti, like you are needing some love. I don't know, but I've seen that look before. And if you don't say hello, I will say hello. Nakupenda, 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 nakupenda. Oh my baby, so my God. Oh baby, so my God. Oh yeah. Nakupenda, nakupenda. Nakupenda, nakupenda. Oh my baby, so my God. That you're the one for me. If you don't say hello, just say hello. I saw you looking at him, but you're the one I'm feeling. But looking at you 4 times in a row, I had to let you know. So I came to say hello. only need someone to hold you close. And if you tell me no, I'll still say hello. Hello. Nakupenda, nakupenda. Nakupenda, nakupenda. Oh, my baby is oh my God. Oh, my baby is oh my God.
Could you turn my camera on, please? I think we're ready. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. You are still at the CUALA 2023 election KYC event. This is the second round, and we just finished hearing from the candidates going for the positions of VP Community Engagement. And right now, we're about to move on to hear from the candidates running for VP Finance. And we have Marana Igbokwe and Wumi Adelusi. Are you guys here? Could you pop your cameras on, please? Hello, Wumi, I see you. Who else? Marana, are you there? I see your camera loading, but it's not up yet. You see a camera logo?
I'm here. I'm just trying to figure that out. I don't know what just happened.
That's all right. We'll give
But
you a
I'm
minute.
here.
Welcome,
Yeah.
guys. Is Lajon Silani Kwekun here? That's fine. Please message the panelists. Please message the hosts and panelists. All right, Wumi, you're ready. Just give it a second. How's your day going? How's everything been, Wumi?
Good. Supposed to
You
be on
enjoyed the last
holiday,
round?
but I've been doing a number of preparations for this. So yeah.
So wait, during the last round, were you listening or were you preparing? Like,
Yeah, I listened. Yeah.
you actually did listen. That's cool. Very cool.
Can you see me now, please?
Yeah.
Can I see you? I need to scroll through my cameras.
Okay, that's fine.
I see you, Marana.
Okay.
Welcome, guys. You know the rules. Please monitor your time. Try and avoid repeating points. We want to hear your vision, sell it as well as you can. Good luck, guys. Naraya, back to you.
Hello. Hi, I'm Marana. Hi, Wumi. Let's do a bit of breathing exercise, okay? So let's go. And let's see how long you can hold it. I kid, no, because I don't know health-wise. I don't want to put myself in trouble. But deep breath, breathe in and out. Let's do it again. Everyone in the audience, join us. We can't see you, but I believe you're doing it now. In and out. I need it for the questions for you. All right. So, well, welcome. It's good to have a chat with you, VP Finance, especially when it comes to talking about money. You need like attention. You need to be careful. So, so our money is not entering places, it's not entering. You see what I mean? Or it's not supposed to enter. However, I have a question for you, right? After the breathing exercise, I think it's time for us to, see how you would think about a response to this particular question that I have for you, okay? So let's say you were a superhero, right? Yeah, I know. Please don't pick butterfly. I see that behind you. Don't pick it. You're a superhero, and you have to tell us what your role as a superhero would be. Superhero out of CU. Think of it. You cannot be an ego. Please don't put anything around ego there. So you have to be the superhero out of CU, and you also have to have a slogan and a campaign song. It's a lot, right? So tell us your superhero, like describe your superhero character. What's the slogan for the superhero, not finance related? And then, give us a line from the song. Let's go. Who is bold enough to kick us off? I know you're both bold.
Okay, let me try.
All right, let's go.
Okay, so if I'm a superhero, do I need a name? It's not an animal.
Yeah. Give us your name. Like, we're featuring you in this CU superhero movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So my superhero name would be BFF. Did I say BFF? Okay.
You did say BFF.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll be like a bully, fighter, and friend. So basically, my superpower will be to fight anyone that bullies anyone, like literally anywhere. My slogan will be "Dem no rich."
Okay.
I just thought that out because obviously I'll be a superhero in Nigeria, and
Mm-hmm.
if I'm dealing with both educated and non-educated people. So yeah, "Dem no rich" basically. What a
Okay.
song!
The song, yeah.
That
This
one
is
is hard, oh, but let me see.
we can give you the
Let's
beats.
just go with when I do my thing, I'll just go, "Chai, there is God." Oh.
Okay. Okay. I'm looking forward to meeting this superhero. All right, thank you, Miranda. The BFF with them no reach, and then Chai. There's no God. There's God. If there's a musician here, please, guys. I know we have many musicians and artists here. Please do something for Miranda. To help her campaign with this particular song and title and all. All right, Fumi, let's go.
Right. So name will be Bumblebee.
Okay.
Slogan will be unstoppable.
Okay.
And what will I do is to show people that I'm unstoppable and let people know that they are also unstoppable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what the law of gravity says. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but your song,
Song-wise,
yeah.
Let the musicians help us, please. Thank you.
Oh, no, you're not escaping this one.
Okay.
Give us a line from it.
Song-wise, I'm unstoppable.
Okay.
I'm unstoppable.
All right. Great. Who knows? We can't say no to this because you care about money. What if we give you a hit like record right now? So please embrace it. All right, Bumblebee and BFF, it's time to move into the questionings. But before then, let's get to know you a bit more. You're both running for VP Finance, and would like to know you, your set, and also your manifesto. Hopefully covers what you're planning to do and why you're motivated for this work. Over to you for 2 minutes. Wumi, let's start with you.
All right, my name is Wumi Adelusi. I finished BConcept 2011, accounting graduate, and shortly after I went for master's in accounting and finance at the University of Leeds. I have an MBA in financial management as well. When I finished my educational experiences there, I proceeded to work with an accounting firm, which I did for about a year, and then moved on to join the Central Bank of Nigeria, where I currently work in Banking Supervision Department. And I enjoy policy making for the financial sector. I'm very passionate about that, and I love every bit of my job. And outside of that, I do a number of community service. I started a community called Millennial Employee, where I basically share tips and equip people on how to thrive in the workplace and excel. My call for CUALA right now is it's a call to service, one which I'm happy about, and I am very honored to have been nominated. And so my manifesto is around stewarding the current resources and also increasing it by collaborating with the various VPs, comms, business, and the likes, and also to empower the alumni members, because I believe that an empowered alumni association is filled with people who are prosperous. You can ask people to pay dues or to increase revenue if they are not prosperous as an individual. So that will be the summary of my manifesto. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Miranda?
Hi, everyone.
Manifesto.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Marana Ibokwe. I graduated from accounting 2016. And after graduation, I went to work in a fintech. So I worked in a fintech for a bit, then worked in audit, then worked in the capital markets, FMDQ, and decided to move countries to do my master's. And currently I work as a corporate corporate finance advisor in a global professional firm. So back in Covenant, I was the Deputy Finance Director of NOASA, that's the Association for Accounting. And I was also the Welfare Secretary of Communal Units and then became the head later on, the head of unit. On my manifesto, for those that have been following me on social media, I'm sure you're sick of it already, but I will still say it anyways. It's stellar, right? It's both an acronym and every meaning of the true word. So stellar leadership means focused. There's no second guessing. There's no confusion. And as an acronym, the S is for sustainability. So basically to prioritize sustainability, both in budgeting and in reporting. The T is for teamwork. And this means finance won't work in isolation, right? We'll work both with the executives and with the community. There's excellence. There's loyalty. There's legacy, which is very big. And I'm sure as questions come up, I'll be able to expand on that. There's accountability, and then there's reporting. So my whole manifesto goes around the Stellar agenda, right? So Stellar is the true word and Stellar is the acronym. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Marna. So let's discuss this role a bit more. So using your office, what are the top 3 problems you plan to solve? I mean, money, is important. We've done a few fundraisers in the past, and we know that when it comes to paying alumni dues, that's also one thing that people struggle with. Then when you get the money, you have to figure out how to allocate the resources and all of that. So what are the top 3 problems you want to solve for Eagles if you become VP Finance, and how do you plan to get them solved? Rana, let's start with you.
Okay, so the first problem I would like to solve is on dues. I believe a lot of Eagles want to be part of what's going on. But then, it's not so easy communicating some things. For example, reminder for dues, as simple as just remembering that you have to pay your dues, right? So I think that's a big problem because dues should be a major stream of revenue for the association. So coming in as the VP Finance, I intend to more show that visibility towards dues, like remembering dues, basically. How are the fun ways of making members just have that responsibility and reminder, have it in mind? Are we going to have a due month? Will October be our official due month where in October, everything we are talking about is dues, pay your dues? Number 2 would be visibility on expenses. I believe people put their money where they see what the money is doing. So we have an endowment fund. Why can't we know what is used for? Can the fund have different tranches, right? So everyone knows if I'm contributing to this tranche of the fund, this is what is going to finance. And I think when people see that value, then they'll be able to contribute. And then the third thing is capacity building. In our community, we have business owners, entrepreneurs, career people. People are looking for that resource, especially for topics like taxes. How do we manage our taxes? How do we organize our business? I'm just starting up a business. I don't know what to do finance related. So focusing on that financial literacy for the community will be very big. So those are the 3 problems. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm looking at the timer, so
yeah, please be looking at the timer because your mic is just going to mute automatically. Okay, so Umi, could you take the same question as well?
Okay, so 3 problems I'm going to solve for the association. Number 1 is financial transparency, and that is feeding off from the financial reporting standards that has already been established by the current administration. I'm aware of the FRS and CSC filings are in place, but I think it's also important for people to know these things. And so for an average person that wouldn't go to the CUALA website, how do we get these things to them? So that is one problem that I intend to be solving, and we'll be working with the VP Corporate Comms to do that and disseminate the information. So not only financial reporting, but now the transparency in the financial stewardship. Number 2, similar to what Marana said, is around dues collection. When people see the value they are getting in a community and they are reminded about these dues payment, they really don't have issues. I belong to a number of institutions myself, and the reminders they send are often apt from time to time, and also because I know that I'm getting value for it. So the question also now is, how do we ensure that more Eagles are getting value in the community of the association? The third thing is building a knowledge-based membership. So you have, as a policymaker, from time to time, I have people asking me, so what does this policy mean? What's the implication for a business owner? How can businesses key into this? As a professional, what happens to my investment because of this policy? So things like that are the knowledge webinars that we're going to be organizing to empower our members. Hope I'm in time.
Yes, no, you guys are doing great. I was just wondering, I said, is it because this is Money Matters that, you're stopping at least 30 seconds before, so nobody, bills you for overtime, or I don't know, I don't get it, but I'm still checking the pattern. We're getting there. All right, so yeah, so we have questions coming in, just a few actually on the Q&A tool. Please, your questions should come into that tool. And for comments, I don't know what you want me to say. As Marina said earlier, Chai, please, can you make sure that you're commenting to everyone and not to hosts and panelists, right? I want everyone to be engaged. So please make sure that you have that toggle, there, and sending your questions. All right, so let's go on. Okay, so what programs being run in the office of the VP right now, VP Finance, are you looking to stop and are you looking to continue? So pick one on both sides. Let's start with you, 2 minutes, Umi.
Right, so one of the programs I'm looking to continue is the endowment fund. That started as part of the CEO at 20 initiatives, which is a brilliant legacy project, and I contributed as well. And why I would like to continue is because I understand the purpose of this endowment fund. So I understand that it's to support students, scholarships, grants for businesses, to foster innovation amongst alumni members, which is very great. But I also know that we've not been able to meet the target. I think the initial target was to get to 100 million and then later to 1 billion by, I think, 2027. And from the report I read, we've only met, I think, 13%. So there's room to do more and also to build on what the current administration has started on that endowment fund. And more importantly is also the reporting aspect. So like Marana mentioned, which I also have in my notes here, is around people knowing what these funds are used for and how they are being utilized, how they are being stewarded, because people then are willing to say, okay, I can contribute more to this because I understand how it works. And I also understand that we have the endowment committee, which the finance director will be working hand in hand with, which is brilliant. So the independence is there and the reporting structure is very clear. So that's one thing I look forward to continue.
Great. See, guys, you need to watch this time. I think my pattern assessment is correct. Marna, over to you.
Yes, your pattern assessment is correct. So things I would like to continue. First of all, I would like to say the current VP Finance did like a good job, doing basic research on what's on ground. First is the endowment fund, of course, because looking at top schools, for example, Harvard, I just did a quick search on Harvard. Majority of their revenues come from endowment. And that's because the alumni body is conscious of the fact that they just have to give back. And that's why Harvard is Harvard. So it's not even like school fees that is the major source of income for Harvard, is the endowment fund. And that's mind-blowing. So how are we going to improve on our endowment fund? How are we going to get the community to get involved? Are we going to be more transparent about it? Do we need more exciting grant raising events? Like, how are we going to get everyone involved? Secondly is reporting. Of course, our association is not for profit, so it's not compulsory. But then we have a responsible alumni ESCO that said we would audit our accounts anyways. So I think that would be a great initiative to continue with the external reporting of the accounts and, being more transparent, basically. And the third would be financial literacy. But then you said what we may want to stop. I don't know of stopping, but more like improving, and that's sustainability. I feel the Alumni Association should have a sustainability strategy. So even in budgeting, even in our reporting, where is our money going to and what sustainability goal are we achieving as an association? Just having that consciousness in mind. So I think that's something I would want to improve, but not really stop. I think all initiatives are going on well. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. So we have a few questions coming in here and we'll start taking those very shortly. Now you've made us a lot of promises. Timer, please. You've made us a lot of promises and we want to hold you accountable. How surprising, right? Would love to hear how you want us to hold you accountable in this role with the promises you've made. But we do have other questions that I think, you better watch how you want us to hold you accountable, because when you see those questions, then you'll also understand that, people will be looking out for this. So let's start with you, Marina, since you stopped in the last one.
Okay, so the A in Stella literally means accountability. So that means I'm subjecting myself to be accountable. And Covenant University is very good at holding everyone accountable. So I'm not surprised. So first would be the Stella agenda. So you have the acronyms, you have what's, the different objectives. So that should hold me accountable. Then secondly will be the reports. And that's why I'm saying we need more transparency. So yes, we know 51% of revenues increased 2022 due to the endowment fund. But then how much? I don't know, but I know 50 billion, endowment for this Harvard. And I'm here in Ireland, I know that, but I don't know what, the revenue of my association is. So I think by the time the report is more transparent, then just by picking up an annual report and going to the page, VP Finance, you'll be able to see the numbers. The numbers don't lie. That's one thing about finance, you can't really hide it. And how else can you hold me accountable? I don't know if there's an internal audit committee yet, but that's one thing I'm looking forward to introducing. So this internal audit committee would literally just check the VP Finance office. How are payments been approved? Are we following due processes? Who approves what? Why is it being approved? How does the budgeting take place? So part of, the focus would be to have an internal audit committee just to check the VP Finance office, So that would be an additional check for me. Thank you.
For me, please take some. Thank you.
So in holding me accountable, like Marana said, figures don't lie. So number one, we are saying we want to increase the revenue generated by the association. So what does the number say by the end of, say, the 2-year term, or say by June next year, when we are auditing, what does the number say? Has it increased? Has it reduced? And where's our expenses going? All of those statistics will be available in the report. And I'm also aware that on the CUALA website, there is half-yearly report. And I also think there is an annual report. However, I wasn't able to download it, but the half-yearly report kind of gives some insight to what you can get and, have an idea of what the finance directorate did during the period. And so the question, or how I'll hold myself accountable, will be that every CUALA member is aware that these reports are available to them to access. And that I cannot do alone. I would have to collaborate with, say, corporate communications to ensure that the mails we are sending out have these things embedded in them, perhaps a link or a QR code where people can easily scan and just access, or have a snapshot even as an image or a PDF attached to the mail where people can easily have this report and then hold us accountable on the go. So that is a major way, transparency in reporting, yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. I think people are so eager and they're excited to pay their dues. So CUALA team, could you please put a link in the comment section? Nobody said it, but I can sense it. So please put it there. And for the endowment fund, please put it there. So people can also, pay, give back. So one question, we have a few questions. I'm switching to the Q&A questions that we have, because when it comes to money, like we said, people want to know details, people have questions. So one of the questions we have here is, what are your thoughts on making dues compulsory for Eagles to access services? I would like to give us 1 minute for this, each for these Q&A questions, so we can get through a few. Is that okay? All right, so let's start from Wumi.
Right.
1 minute.
So I would say making it compulsory might be a bit harsh. And why I'm saying that is because I belong, like I said before, I belong to a number of associations, and honestly, the membership dues are not mandatory. However, they send a number of reminders, and also because of the values I know that, or I might be missing out, or say discounts, for example. So there is an event going on, and I know if I've paid my dues, I would enjoy some discount. That is savings for me. So I'm not mandated, but because of the value I tend to get, I would want to pay my dues. So I think if we're able to work alongside with other directorates like the business directorate, community engagement, and people are seeing the value they are getting, they are not feeling isolated in this association, we can really push for more payment of dues without making it mandatory. So for example, only people who have paid dues can,
Yeah, only people who can pay dues can. All right, over to you, Miranda. Let's go.
Yeah, we shouldn't say only people that can pay dues should access services. I don't think so, because usually when you need something from school, it's really urgent. I've noticed that maybe from my personal experience, you're trying to apply for masters, you're dealing with VFS, you're just in the middle of some stuff going on. So no, it shouldn't be compulsory at that point, at that pressure point. However, like I said, how can we remind members? Because I truly believe that members of the association can do with paying 4,000 naira every year to the association when they see what's happening, when they see what the dues are being used for, when there's a lot of transparency towards the expenses, So no, we shouldn't be compulsory. However, with value, with transparency, and with good reminders, I believe there'll be participation. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. So let's take another one. What will be your strategies for fundraising? As we know, everything requires money and you can't depend on dues alone. Question to both candidates. Marna?
So funny enough, someone asked me this question at the gym. He saw my posters and he asked, and one thing I told him was good vibes. Now, as crazy as that sounds, but that's the truth. Most times when you look at fundraising activities, it comes with the vibe. People put money in when they're feeling good, they see good stuff, so they put their money there. This is what you see in the corporate world. Access Bank has a marathon, you get to run, you're happy, but people are feeling good. You have a golf tournament, or you have an Eagles tournament, and people have to pay, raise money for this stuff. It's good. So you feel good. You give money into it because you feel good about it. You feel good about the impact. You feel good about the value. And also you can put a face to the impact. So you can see someone that finished school because of your donations, you can see someone that has been taken care of because of your donations. So good vibes.
All right, Umi, from the good vibes.
Right. So I like the good vibes. How to improve collections outside of dues. Number one is, I would say, partnering with business. A lot of Eagles have businesses, right? So how do we commercialize some of these things such that they have value, being an Eagle and being a member of the association, but also they can say you're giving donations in whatever category. So you can have gold, silver, platinum partners from our Eagle-owned businesses. I think that is one way to actually improve. So corporate donations, and also there are some institutions that they target educational projects. So they want to be part of tertiary educational, maybe financial literacy programs, something. Based on my experience from where I work, I know that there are a number of institutions that are, prone to supporting donations to higher institutions. So, yeah.
Great, thank you. All right, so a few more. We have, I'll see if we can take like, we plan to take maybe 4, but we've done 2 right now. So maybe we can squeeze in 1 more, but we'll make them brief, right? 1 minute. So another question here is, what are your plans to maximizing our finances using strategic investments and accessing grant opportunities? Umi, let's start from you. Yeah.
So for accessing grant opportunities, we already have the endowment fund. We need to up that, and then more people can have access to it and benefit from it. The other one is investment. Investment options, there are a lot of investment options. So we have short term, we have long term, we have medium terms. And I think that the investment will be based on the goals that we set at the start of the administration. So, and how do we want to utilize this fund? So for example, we're not going to put a long-term fund in a short-term investment. So we need the money, say we are paying scholarships, schools are resuming by September. We are not going to put it in something that would span over 365 days. We're going to look at, match the goals with the kind of investment we want to do, and also the kind of risks. So risk averse, we are not going to take unnecessary risks. So things like mutual.
Hopefully you have some other question where you can say that again. All right, so let's take another question from the audience here.
Okay, sorry, that's not for me. Okay.
No, not yet.
Okay.
So Martin, actually, you should go next.
Okay, the same question.
Yes, please.
Okay, to maximize investments, yes, like I mentioned, I had gone through the Alumni Association of top alumni associations globally. And yes, investments go into, funny enough, real estate, bonds, shares. But then again, I'm aware of, the Nigerian capital markets, and we don't want to invest in stuff that would make losses. Like, this is not a profit organization. So basically, we are just trying to make extra cash to put back into the impact projects. So would look out for investment vehicles that are very risk averse. And obviously the endowment fund is also there, but then dividing it into different tranches. Then something new, I don't know if it's in place, but having a foreign reserve. I think donations in dollars, in pounds, in euros should be kept as is. We don't need to convert it to Naira. That could also help with the FX.
Okay, great, thank you. So let's take the few ones. Well, I'm sorry we might not be able to go through everything, everyone. Let's see what we can squeeze in the next few minutes. All right, so what's your view and evaluation of the current status of accountability, transparency, and probity of the financials of the CUALA currently? Marana. So pretty much asking you to audit what we currently have.
Yeah, they're telling me I should audit the current VP Finance. That's a big one. I would just say that it's work in progress. I think it's baby steps. Reports were just introduced like a few years ago, and there's a lot to be improved on. But then again, it's still impressive, the fact that you can just go pick up a report and the finance plans. But yes, it can be improved on, like transparency. Like I mentioned, I don't know what the revenue is right now. I don't know what the endowment fund has been used for. Just a little pie chart, could help, just to tell me this percentage went into this or this percentage went into that. So I think there's a lot to be improved on, but at the same time, I think the current administration has done an impressive job. Transparency isn't so easy. Reporting from experience is not easy, and it's not compulsory. So basically, you're doing this because of some level of accountability to the association. It's not compulsory public. Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you, Umi.
So I would say that the current VP Finance did a good job. I read the report, the half-yearly report, and I was quite impressed that there was no pending CAC filing, no pending FIRS filing, and I think that's a good start for financial reporting. honestly. And I'm also impressed with the fact that there is an endowment committee who is in charge of, the disbursement and allocation of funds from the endowment fund. I think that is a good form of independence to put and a good structure. However, like Mariana said, there is room for improvement. And where the improvement comes in now is, I think, disseminating the information that has been generated, because this information is there online on the CUALA website. However, a lot of people are not aware. So the awareness is where the transparency comes in, which I think can be improved upon. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for taking these questions really fast so we can get one or two more in. All right, so what are your thoughts when it comes to allocating funds to other directorates, especially the chapters and flights? Funds are important when it comes to creating value within the other directorates. Umi?
So I would say that allocating funds could be seen as value. So what you're bringing, right? If I'm allocating, say, 50% of my funds to you, I have to match it with the value, like that is the dues collection that you've been able to get. And I think that would also serve as an incentive for the flight leads or the chapter leads to kind of get their members to also up their dues. So if you're asking for, say, a 50,000, you have to have brought, say, a certain percentage of that money you're requesting for. And I think that is another way to, so it's not, I'm not mandating it on the members themselves individually, but then I'm incentivizing the chapter leads and the community engagement directorates to, get these people to pay the dues. So yeah.
Okay, Marina.
Well, when it comes to sharing money, you have to be very careful. So I'm a bit adverse when it comes to allocating funds to each chapter lead, because this could just make people come up with events just for the sake of having money allocation, we see this in the public sector. So what will happen is more teamwork. Chapter leads and flight leads, everyone could be part of the budgeting, Let's all come together, let's know what's being budgeted for a particular year. And that will also trickle down in the kind of activities you want to undertake in that year. So that would kind of help with everyone coming together and just being in sync. You know how much is in the pot, and the activities you want to have, and how you can, organize yourself. But I don't really know about having allocations, because we don't even know what we are allocating. This is a not-for-profit, so it's not all the time that there'll be some huge money out there. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to stop there for both of you. There's a lot of questions. I mean, I'm sure you expected it. When it comes to money, we just want to know what's happening. Okay, so thank you, BFF and Bumblebee. Okay, for those that do not know, Marina is BFF and Wumi is Bumblebee, is their superhero names, and you can reach out to them to tell you about their superhero campaign. So I'm going to give you 1 minute each to sell yourselves and add your call to action. So the idea for the people in the audience is for you to also reach out to them. I see we have more questions, but we won't be able to take them. So please reach out to them if you have more questions, and so they can get back to you. So let's start with selling yourself and your call to action, Wumi.
Right. My call to action will be to vote for me, and I seek your support. I cannot do this alone. And my vision is to steward the resources of CUALA, and not only steward it, but also improve on it and see how we can generate more revenue for a prosperous alumni. And also to empower our members financially, empower us knowledge-based, empower us financially with good information on how we can make better investment decisions and how we can thrive as individuals in our respective finances. And so also accountability, transparency is something that I'm big on in this campaign. And I'm saying, yes, the reporting has started, but we can also improve the awareness for transparency and also get these reports to our members, because really what's the importance of a reporting or an information when it doesn't get to the end user? So that is what I'm asking for, and I'm asking for your support on this journey. Thank you very much.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, Marna.
Okay. Basically, like I've been saying since the campaign started, please vote for me, Marana Ibukwe, Stellar Leadership, Stellar in the word itself, focused. This is money, right? This is money matter, and you need someone that is focused. You need someone that has that experience, and I have the experience. I'm currently a corporate finance advisor. I deal with companies from different sectors. Why can't I bring that competence into my alumni association? So vote Marana, vote for Stellar Leadership. And remember, I'm the woman for the job. You know, I am the woman for the job. And I'm looking forward to putting in all my energy, my time, my resources, you know, everything, good vibes also. Come on, like, it's not just all the technical parts. You need the good vibes on the ESCO table. You need the good vibes in the alumni association. You need, you know, you need that energy. So vote for me, vote for me, vote for me. Thank you.
All right. So thank you, you both. We are looking forward to you representing us in the alumni body, and we know you'll do it really well. So I'm going to pass the mic back to Gabriel. Thank you, Team Unstoppable and Team Them No Reach. Again, these are not their official campaigns, so ask them about this as well. All right, so Gabriel, over to you.
Thank you very much, Naraya. Thank you, Marana. Thank you, Wumi. Great session. I wish you guys the best of luck. Thank you very much. Guys, I think we should just take a quick 1 minute break quickly. When we come back, we're going to have a conversation with Ladency Lanikbeko to hear their KYC, to hear about their agenda through their KYC. And so we'll be right back. We'll have a chat with Ladency, and we'll make a few announcements, and we'll wrap up on time tonight. So guys, one DJ, please take over. 1 quick minute. We'll be right back. Thank you.
I go treat you like gold. I go make you my own. I know what you're looking for, and I got it all. I know he has it all, but I have it more. I'll give you what you need if you open the door. I say hello. Anybody way won't fight you, better come, they already know. I'll be right beside you, like the wall of Jericho. They don't know, they don't know, they don't know what's going on. Monagiso, 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 my baby boo. I'll be a soldier for you, I'm getting better in Kung Fu. You should know I got you, and you don't need to guide me too. I'll be right beside you in anything that you do. If you ever need saving, I will be running to you, running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to, running, running, running to you. I'll be running to you, running, running, running to you. Anywhere that you go to.
trouble, it's cause I know that I got you. Wanting more best everybody, oh oh. And it's because of your kung fu. And anytime that I'm out of control, you never let go. Yeah, Munagiso, my baby boo. See all the battles you'll be fighting, and I'll be right there with you. I may be small, but I'm mighty, and I go run and fall.
Hello. Welcome back, everyone. We are still at the 2023 CUALA KYC Know Your Candidate pre-election events. We're having a very interesting night. We've seen some very interesting candidates. Without showing favoritism, it's quite interesting. We never discussed, while we were planning the town hall, we never discussed if candidates would ever be able to project their material on screen. And we had a candidate who did that today. It's a good reminder to all of us, like, when you have a chance to sell yourself, just use it. There was no rule against it. And yeah, it was a great opportunity. But I'm enjoying this town hall event. At this point, I'm going to introduce and call up Ladunsi Lanikweku. Ladunsi, are you there? Please put your camera on. Hello.
Hello, I'm trying to. I don't know what's happening.
That's all right. It's active, but it looks like it's backwards. Naraya, could you please take over the spotlight as well?
Thank you.
We're doing this. Hi, Ladunsi. We still can't see you.
I don't know what's happening.
Blessing, try switching your mic back to your camera back to the front.
Okay.
Yes, we see you now. Hello.
Thank you. Hello, good evening.
Long time no see. I remember.
Yes,
I remember you.
Yes, I remember.
How's it going?
Fine, thank you.
Nice to see you after so many years. So let's just get to it. Why are you here? Hello?
I don't know what's happening.
Can you still hear us?
Yes, I can. I don't know what's happening. I can see you now.
Right. So I was asking you the question, why are you here?
I'm here to give back to the alumni, to my society, to the community rather. Having worked here for over 13 years, because I remember when after graduation, I got a job in a bank, and I had this urge to come back to school, to give back to the university, to give back to the alumni base and all, and I decided to come back to school. And I've been here since 2010 up till now, and I've worked in several units, several departments, ranging from student affairs to library. I've worked as a college officer, College of Science and Technology, the School of Postgraduate Studies, and currently I'm a quality assurance officer for Covenant University under the academic planning unit. And I feel as a university relations officer, alumni, those that have graduated, the fellow Eagles would need someone that is accessible, that has much experience on what is happening on ground, and can help them relate well, they can relate well with, who has a good communication skills, who also has a good relationship with other persons and individuals he or she has come across here on campus. So in all, I'm saying that I'm vying for the position of University Relations Officer.
Thank you. So break it down. What does the Covenant University Relations Office, what does the role actually, what's the day-to-day? What are you supposed to do? Do you interact with students? Do you interact with the alumni? What is the job?
Yes, well, my own kind of, let me just say my own kind of person now. My own kind of person now, I relate well with students, because here in Covenant University, no matter the unit you work in, you still have to relate to the students one way or the other. You still have to provide solutions in any way you can. You relate with Eagles outside here. They call you most times, like on several occasions, I've receive calls from Eagles, okay, can you help do this? Can you help do that? And with the good relationship I've maintained on ground here, I've been able to do that successfully. And sometimes students that have challenges too, with the good relationship I have here, I've been able to provide solutions one way or the other to get it sorted out.
What's the biggest Covenant University? What's the biggest situation you've heard about recently? What's been the biggest story?
Here on campus, or what I've done.
In Covenant University, what's been the biggest story regarding community relations?
Biggest story, well, if I understand what you're...
Has there been any big, have there been any big incidents, any big events? Has anything happened where community relations has needed to step in?
Yes, we are currently preparing for a convocation ceremony.
Nice.
Covenant University. And in terms of Eagles having challenges, I don't know if I understand, I'm trying to see if I understand what you're saying.
No, this is a great example. This is the kind of thing I wanted to ask about. I did not know about the convocation. I don't know if many people did. So like, what's your role going to look like before, during, and after the convocation?
My own role?
If assuming I'm
the University Relations Officer. Well, my own role is to make sure that things are being done appropriately then on the investiture day, which is going to be after the convocation ceremony. The newly released Eagles will be updated and informed on things they need to do when they leave the campus.
What are the top 3 problems you're looking to tackle?
Okay, communications, connections, and collaborations. Building strong connections amongst Eagles and getting them involved in whatever is happening here on campus. And proactive communication, getting them informed per time on what is happening. That can be done through social media, maybe face-to-face with those I meet, those that come across me or call me. And but basically connections, collaborations, and communication, because communication is key. Without getting the right communication here on campus, it doesn't speak well of the university community.
What's your personal style when you're building connections?
What's
your personal style building connections?
I can't hear. What's my personal?
What is your personal style? Do you prefer to use social media? Do you like to go for events? Do you like to chat with people? How do you?
Yes, I prefer to. Okay, yes, I prefer to chat with them one-on-one, and I go on WhatsApp too. Anyway, any best means possible, just to make sure the information is reached.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
How are we gonna hold you accountable how are we gonna hold you accountable in this role?
I didn't get that question. What you said?
How are we going to hold you accountable in this role?
Okay, how are you going to hold me accountable in this role? Well,
you said you're gonna form connections. How can we hold you accountable that you are forming connections and fostering that?
Okay, like I'm accessible. Anyone can come to me. You can call me. You can reach me on any media. I'm open to critique. I'm open to corrections. I'm open to ideas, and through my effective and efficiency on the assignments given to me, yes, I could do reports on what I do, maybe quarterly or so, and then share it with people.
Are you gonna? Some other candidates running have made promises. Some have said monthly reports. Some have said quarterly. Are you gonna promise or commit to anything?
Yes, mine is going to be quarterly.
Gonna do quarterly reports.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go back to a question. What programs are you looking to? Is there any specific project or program you're looking to continue or stop with regards to relations?
None for now. What I intend to do is when I get to the office, I'm going to, first of all, let me just say thank you and well done to the current VP Relations. She's done a great job, and I intend to improve on what she's done presently. And if there are things that need to be not corrected, that need to be adjusted, I would work with the current team and make that possible.
Okay. Is there any, can you tell us something personal about you?
About?
That should give us something personal about you.
Okay,
that should give
about
us
me.
Something personal about you that should give us an extra reason to vote for you.
Okay, I'm a good listener. I maintain good relationship. I go all out for people. I don't believe in impossibility. I make sure things are done, and there's always a solution, no matter how difficult the situation looks like. When students come to me, I don't give them this, oh, it's not possible. Even if at the end of the day it will be possible, which it's very, very rare, I still give them that hope that something is going to be done. And even for parents, guardians that want their students, their ward or children to come here, I have been able to liaise with some persons in at the admission office and ask questions like, okay, for example, one of their children wants to come in for maybe chemical engineering, and the JAM combination isn't right, the score isn't right with my to my goal getting skill. I've been able to make sure the child did not miss admission by changing to another course that the child would love to do in Covenant University.
Right. Thank you for sharing that. I want to hear something. All of us would like to hear something personal about you. Do you have a hobby? Do you have a hobby or something interesting about you? Do you sing? Do you write? Do you tell us something unusual that we wouldn't know unless we were on this KYC about you? We want to.
I love cooking. I love cooking.
You love cooking. And what's your favorite meal?
Right now. Beans. Let me say beans and vegetable.
What kind? Ewa or?
The dry beans. The dry beans.
All right. So we love to hear your manifesto now, if you have one. We'd love to hear like your impact statements. Tell us what to expect. Tell us how to expect it, and tell us why we should vote for you one more time. We'd love to hear that.
Okay. When I come on board, I intend to build on strong relationships. I intend to celebrate. I intend to celebrate diversity and empower the university community to thrive. And I won't be able to do this alone. I would want every Eagle to support me in this. And I also said that I'll be devoted to serving the needs and aspirations of all Eagles. Don't let me say all Eagles, as many Eagles as possible, and to make our university a place where everyone feels heard, valued, and supported.
Thank you very much. I believe we have some questions from the audience. Sorry, I haven't checked with my co-host. Oh, I see a question. How would you handle the situation? Oh, no, that's not for you. Bear with me, sorry.
It's breaking. I can't hear you clearly, please.
How will you balance? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Right. How will you balance your sentimental commitment to the university and to the alumni, especially when interests are not aligned? That's a loaded question. How would you answer that?
Please come again, please. Let me try to understand the question.
How will you balance your sentimental commitment to the university and to the alumni, especially when interests are not aligned?
Okay. In as much as I'm a good listener and I have a relationship, I don't mix business with pleasure. I don't know if I'm answering the question that way. I'm going to stand by what the university wants, and at the same time allow the alumni or the Eagle see reasons why such. I don't know if answering the question the way
let me be the devil's advocate here.
Okay.
In that statement, there is an implication that you are sentimental towards the university. I think we would like our university relations officer to be sentimental towards the university, but how do you balance that? If there's a clash between being loyal to the university and being loyal to the alumni, how will you balance that?
Okay, I will let them see reasons why. Yes, I'm going to support the university, and at the same time, I'm going to support the alumni. But I'll make them see reasons. I think it has to do with me being able to present my matter well to the school on whatever issue it is at hand that has to do with that ego, and make them see reasons why they should. I don't know if I'm not understanding.
It's a question with. I mean, it's a question with implying that you are more loyal to Covenant University as a university.
Okay, assuming I'm loyal to the university.
Alumni, yes, this is an alumni role. So if the university expects you to do something and the alumni would want you to do something else, how do you balance those commitments?
Yes, I'll make the alumni see reasons why the school. I'm trying to understand this question.
Sorry, I'm not trying to trip you up. It's a question I felt should be answered.
Yes, and it's going to be answered. I'm going to make the alumni see reasons why the school wants. I'm going to support the school. At the same time, I'm going to support alumni, but there's going to be a balance. It depends on the situation at hand at that time. But the thing is, I'm going to support each of them. I'm going to make them see reason and the way I'm going to present my matter. I don't know if I will make each party know that I'm supporting. But I'm going to make sure it's being settled. And whatever the school wants me to carry, the assignment they want me to carry out, I'm going to carry it out. And make the body, the alumni, see it from my own, I see it from their angle that, okay, they are not being.
Okay, so not to overflog this, what is the name of the position you're running for?
University relations.
Is this an alumni role or a university role?
For both the university and the alumni.
Okay. Next question. How will you help push CUALA initiatives within the university leadership to impact students on campus? Which CUALA initiatives will you push towards Covenant University leadership that will be good for students on campus? Did you catch that?
I did not.
Right. I'll move to the next question. University relations candidate, has there been a major issue on campus recently that you as one of the Eagles on campus has had to intervene? How did you resolve such an issue? Okay,
some students reached out to me when they had issues with the door of their room. Some of them could not. Okay, I think upon resumption, then they had bad doors, and according to them, they said some persons came, collected money from them, and fixed the door. But I was able to reach out to someone at the physical planning department who was able to handle that situation at that time. The money was returned, and the doors were fixed appropriately.
Thank you. Nora, how many more questions can we take? One or two?
Well, I think we can just take maybe one.
We'll take one more.
And give people time. Yeah.
So here's a question for you, Largency. There is a lingering issue about postgraduate students who did not do their undergraduates in CU being a part of CUALA. How do you address this, especially in helping them get documentations they might need from CU?
It's easy. It's just for them to reach out to, they can reach out to me. I can get that I can make that possible for them, or they reach out to them at the PG school, for academic affairs, but they can always reach out to me because I've helped several external postgraduate students get their documentations done.
Thank you for that. We're just gonna ask you to, what's your call to action? What's the one thing we should do next? What would you like us to take? What's the last word you'd like to leave us with? As in with regards to voting for you, with regards to this position? What's your call to action? What are you leaving us with? What do you want us to take away?
Like I said earlier, strong connections, building strong connections between the university and the alumni association. And I intend to work tirelessly to establish and maintain that positive relationships between the alumni association and the university faculty and staff as a whole.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming on. Guys, you've heard it from Ladunsi Lanikweko, and this essentially concludes the KYC session of the CUALA 2023 second session. Thank you, Ladunsi.
Thank you, Gabriel.
We're just sorry.
Go ahead. No, I was just going to appreciate you as well. And maybe this is a good time to mention that as the only candidate, I think there was something we said at the previous session where we said the candidates unopposed would have, I think, 1,000 votes, but we wanted to correct that as well, with this session, because you're an unopposed candidate. It's going to be 40% of registered voters for each of the categories. So in this case, because it's a VP position, it's going to be 40%. If Ladunsi is able to get 40% of the votes, then she would qualify. So this applies to the other candidates that were unopposed from the previous session and the coming one as well. I just wanted to mention that to correct it. So please, Ladunsi will need your support to also get into the seat. So it's not 1,000. It's going to be 40% of all registered voters for the VPs. For flight leads, it will be 40% of registered voters from the flight, and for chapter leads is the same as well, 40% of registered voters from the chapter. But I just wanted to also, echo what Gabriel said and just say thank you so much, Ladunsi, for gracing the hot seat. I know it's you are the last but not the least for today's session, so really appreciate the patience as well. Gabriel, I don't know if I can keep speaking, but please cut me in. But I just wanted to say, I saw one comment about you being welfare mama, and you're back. So we're really excited and looking forward to working with you to making sure that we bridge the relationship between CUALA and CU, and we're able to bring like the ones there, give them something to aspire towards, and also to for something that they themselves can, work towards as they aspire as well. And for us as well to always think about them. So thank you for being, stepping up to be that bridge. We also wanted to mention. Go ahead.
Sorry about that. I wanted to quickly add, there was supposed to be another candidate for this role, but they dropped out of the race earlier. We saw questions about that, asking about Victoria Adeoye. She pulled out of the race for personal reasons. So right now it's just Ladunsi Lanikweko, and she would need to meet the threshold. So please support her. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Great. So thank you so much. I think we can call it a day. Dubem, if you have anything from the electoral committee, please send to us or hop on. But if not, just wanted to say thank you to you, Ladunsi, and also to everyone working behind the scenes. Gabriel, thank you so much for being a great partner here, on the camera end. And also we have Omoshola, our able timekeeper, for doing an amazing job as well. So if you do have anything to add from the electoral committee, please ping that to us, or or just come on here so we can spotlight you?
Right. Good evening, everyone. So please, it was a nice session today, but as usual, let's boost voters registration on all our platforms as Eagles. Let's share the links out there. Yes, let's boost voters registrations, everyone, and do have a good night rest and enjoy the rest of the week. Thank you very much. See you in the next KYSD session.
Awesome. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. Hope to see you on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Lagos, that's West African time. So for that, we're going to have a different format. There are going to be breakout sessions, so you can have intimate times with your flight leads. I think that's the next one precisely. So you're going to have intimate time with that, but please correct me, team, if I'm not saying, if I'm mixing it up. But we're going to have some of the breakout sessions on that day. So that way you also, a bit of FOMO, bring people back together. You can remember people from your set, and you can ask the questions that you might have for the contestants, be it the flight leads or the chapter leads. I'm not sure which one right now, but please check the social media handles and make sure you register to vote, because in the next 2 weeks or so, campaigns are going to end, and then there will be the voting. If there is nothing else we've addressed, please send in your questions to our social media handle, and our means the CUALA handles, and we can take it there. So see you in a few days, and thank you for the commitment here. Ladusi, I see you're still here. Thank you so much. Gabriel, Dubem, and every other person who has worked behind the scenes to getting us here. Thank you so much, and see you in a few days. Yeah.